I'm a person who is very different from the entire family students during my school days. And what happened as a result, I didn't have any proper cutoff marks. So engineering was an option for me, but I said no. I wanted to just speak much more and free. I don't want to have any mathematics into my subject. So what's the option is MSW. So in MSSW, there was a check getting a seat into that particular college. So out of 30 seats, the people would be like 10,000 or 15,000 persons would be applying. So that was my first achievement, I would say. I'm a person who wants to just interact with the people or something like that. So I enjoyed, obviously. So that's how I landed into this HR job. HR industry, first thing is it is very crowded. The reason for being crowded is all the engineering grads who's not able to get placement or something, for a safer option, they complete MBA, they do some MBA management courses or something, and they landed up into HR job.
Really?
Yeah, this is one thing is there. And I have asked so many people, so why do you take as HR? It is by passion or something? No. They'll simply say, நமக்கு கோடிங்லாம் வராது ஒன்றும் அதான் இதில் வந்துட்டேன். So most of the people from engineer, they shift towards over here. And now it has become very common. Like you have to complete your degree. What's your degree? We have to complete. Every family would be having an MBA now.
Hi, welcome back. So this episode we're going to cover a very interesting career option, which is HR. And with us here today is Mr. Aravind again. And Aravind, you in the previous conversation mentioned about how you come from a family where everybody either has to be a doctor or a engineer, but you chose to be an HR. Why did you do that? Why did you choose this career path?
So thanks for asking. Nobody has asked me this except the interviewer. So I'm a person who is very different from the entire family, I would say, because most of my family members are, my father is a labor officer in government sector, and everyone is like a government officials or somebody is into a business or something. They always wanted to enter into the government industry or something like that, or either have to become an engineer by choice. That was the option. And obviously, I didn't do well in my school days or something. So even I was an average student during my school days. And what happened as a result, I didn't have any proper cutoff marks. So engineering was an option for me. So even though they was ready to pay the fees and everything, but I said no, I'll not go and join. And after that, okay, what's next? So I just joined biotechnology in a famous college over here in Arumbakam over there. One day I studied. I came back home stating that no, I didn't like the course. I'm just going away. We paid the fees and everything. My parents saw, okay, what are you going to do next? So what is that in your next or something like that? He was asking me entirely. So I was thinking, okay, what should I do or something? Because I'm a guy who always wants to have people around. So I wanted to just speak much more and free. And as usual, I don't want to have any mathematics into my subject. Okay, I hate mathematics. So that is one thing during at that point of time. So what's the option is MSW. So where can I just study this MSW? So either you have to study in Tata Institute of Social Science, that is number one. And second option is in India is Madras School of Social Work. So I had only these two options over there. I asked the test, they said, you're not going anywhere because we know about you, what kind of person. So you will have to stay over here only. So in MSSW was my only option. So my father took MSSW. So right from DG Vaishnav day 2, he picked up me from there. And I was just grabbed to MSSW campus over there. So in MSSW, there was a check. You have to clear aptitude tests. You have to have a group discussion. You have to have one-to-one conversation. Only then you will be getting a seat into that particular college. So out of 30 seats, the people would be like 10,000 or 15,000 persons would be applying. So that was my first achievement, I would say, getting into a branded MSSW. So that was my one thing. Once you onboard into MSSW, so the course which I studied was MSW. So MSW has an advantage of first year, you'll be learning about the community, sociology, human behavior, psychology, all the subjects. And the second year, you'll be much more learning about the human resource management. So how to just deal with the organization, deal with an employee, people, and with the practical exposure, it will be given. So we always have a field work like every Thursdays and Fridays, we used to go to industrial sector. We used to observe them. So that was a part of a curriculum. So it becomes easy for me. I started enjoying it. Because why? Because whatever you're seeing in seeing on a day-to-day life, it becomes your hobby. And as I said, I'm a person who wants to just interact with the people or something like that, so I enjoyed, obviously. So that's how I landed into this HR job.
So you discovered your career through process of elimination.
Yeah.
Which is a very powerful thing actually. You know, if you don't know what you want, at least you'll know what you don't want, which is very important. So another interesting point that which you explained was, I have worked in multiple companies and I have met a lot of HRs. For me, I always thought HR is about paying salaries, doing payroll, hiring, and doing Friday parties or something like that. You said that there are around 40 different streams of HR. I was just blown away. I mean, I never thought of HR as such a vast career or a vast subject to build a career around.
Yes. So most of the people doesn't even have awareness about this particular industry. So major functions they are aware: talent acquisition, talent management, and talent retention.
And
These are
LinkedIn also, I always only see this much.
no, that's what. So, but there are apart from that, there are many streams into HR where you can just do merger and acquisition roles, and you can also be like a payroll is not like a see. Actually, you'll be not paying the salary. The paying salary part would be the finance part. So that is not a HR job. And second thing, what I used to see over here is they don't have clarity what this HR means. As you said, HR is not an administrative function. Even though for the freshers who are just applying it for the job, when you see HR and admin, eliminate that particular job because administration is leads to like checking of bills, invoices, taking care of housekeeping activities and everything. That is not going to be your core kind of a job. So HR is something you'll be just acting strategically and as well as you'll be impacting the business. So today most of the even the founders think like, okay, HR is like a normal admin function. So where they'll be able to take care of everything. It has a huge function. As you said, the sub functions are much more there. Learning and development has been evolved numerous times. Now, as I said, we have been transformed from classroom training to online training. You can see the evolution, how it has been grown now. So that's the reason I'm just saying.
You know, there is a common perception or misconception that HR is a convenient career to have, and that's why if you see girls are all take up HR as a subject. But from what I'm hearing, that's not the case. So, what is the career scope for an HR student aspiring to get into HR as a?
Okay, HR industry, first thing is it is very crowded. And secondly, it is like very competitive, I would say. The reason for being crowded is all the engineering grads who is not able to get placement or something for a safer option, they complete MBA, they do some MBA management courses or something, and they landed up into HR job.
Really?
Yeah, this is one thing is there. So if you just go and see most of the CXO or CHRO professionals, when you see the educational qualifications, it will be like engineers, obviously the background. And I have asked so many people, so why do you take as a HR? It is by passion or something? No. They'll simply say, Namaku coding la varadu onno. Adha idilla vanta. So now they have to earn something or something. So most of the people from engineer, they shift towards over here. And now it has become very common. Like you have to complete your degree. What's your degree? We have to complete. Every family would be having an MBA now. Every family members you can take in India, they'll be graduated. Or if they have to do a post graduation, the one course they'll be going into is MBA. Now I have to study MBA. And that is one of the reasons it has been very crowded, as I said. And it is also becoming competitive. Why? Because the organization has to close the role immediately. Most of the organizations are not looking into this. That was my recent post even today. See, there is a purpose who is picking up this particular profession, who is studying, who has did internships, who has done a projects, who has invested on time. But somebody who is without even having the knowledge, they come and grab this opportunity. That is one thing we really have to look into it. Most of the top level organizations, I don't want to name them, they are doing it in a very appropriate way. Only if you study MSW or MBA, you'll be eligible for this particular function. But some mediocre organization doesn't do this.
So, what is the kind of salaries to HR graduates or postgraduates they can expect when they start working in India?
Great question. The salary of HR is very low in the market. The work would be much more high, but you'll be paid little bit of salary. And especially when it comes to Indian market, it is very low. Our salary is being paid based on the metropolitan cities. Say for example, the Chennai who has 10 years of experience would be earning very lesser than people who is earning in Bangalore. and as well as in Mumbai, because the CTC would be double or triple. That is the reason why most of the people, they will go to Bangalore or Mumbai location, they'll be working. And when they want to come back to the native Chennai, the CTC would not be matched against it. So that is one of the reasons. So I think the CTC bracket should be same for all across the countries, but I'm not sure either they'll be it is possible or not. The salary is very low in HR. For a 10 years professional, if you ask me today, what should be your CTC? It should be 25 lakhs per annum, minimum at least. At least if you're there in a mediocre organization. But I would say most of the professionals are still earning 10 lakhs per annum or 7 lakhs per annum. They have been settled for good. So it can be numerous factors that can be due to a skill set or due to some kind of a commitment or something. They fall into it.
Does HR career provide you options to travel the world? You know, like how IT gives opportunities to travel. Does HR also provide such?
Obviously, yes.
Okay.
So first thing is, I have done this, okay, like a merger and acquisition role or something. I have to travel to some or other country where I have to explain about my company, about the brand, where you have been acquired or something. So I have to gain the trust with an employee. So the first person would be the HR representative. They'd be sending it from there to, hey, you can just, because you are just going to be the front face of your particular employer. So that's the reason I'm just saying there is a lot of scope. Second thing is the process transition. If there is any kind of a process that they have to bring in to, especially over here in India, the process transition happens like a employee policy or confirmation process or any or other process they wanted to implement over here. You would have always been here, no? The process is entirely different over here in Australia, but whereas in India over here it is different. Now we are just going to have a process transition. The transition members would be these guys, HR folks, would be the process transition guys. And third thing is you can also, for a fresher, you can also just learn additional languages. It will be much more helpful. Instead of English or something, you can additional languages like German, Chinese, French would help a lot. So that you can understand the regional languages. It will be a better for all these transitions. So I know most of the HR speaks dual languages. They speak German, French. It will be very easy for them. So those are the kind of people who travel across the globe. You can always see.
From a career in HR, is it possible to transition into other verticals of business within an organization, or you have to only pursue HR as a career throughout your life if you are in HR?
Okay, it depends upon the organization. So first thing is, HR as a career, when you enter into a larger organization, you can grow up to CHRO level. Okay, this is one organization. But whereas a mediocre organization, let us take some kind of an organization, you will be able to transition up to a chief technology officer or something like that. But you should be technically much more strong into it. You have an options to switch. But whereas in other branded ones, you'll be not able to switch your careers. So that's what you can become. Anyone can become anything. That is there. I completely just agree with it. But if you see HR as a profession, most of the times it will hit only to the CHRO level. Now it has been transitioned like they'll be just working directly with the founders. Founders next level. There are the business advisories we call, or something like that. They'll be in the board or something. So now slowly the awareness starts to come how to run or something. So it will take another 5 years for this to completely get transitioned.
You know, today every industry has got revolutionized with tech and AI, even manufacturing, which is such a traditional industry. Has HR also got influenced with, advancements like these?
Yes, obviously, yes. You can now say right from documenting collection. Okay, previously it was like you collect your resumes, your appointment orders, and everything through hard copy. Now are they doing it? Now everything is online, including your background verification. It is very much easy. Authenticity, like LinkedIn profile, I always used to ask them to maintain. So you can ask anyone for the referral. Hey, how is this guy? He or she is being performed. So you can see the recommendations on the job recommendations, what to. So you can analyze easily the kind of a work. And obviously within the workspace also, it has been evolved a lot. Comparing it from the manual attendance to right now facial recognition, your biometric registrations and everything. You can see all these are technological advancement from the HR perspective. Your HRMS like work days and all, it has a very huge scope, right? It is completely from online. You need not have any kind of offline papers or anything hard copies to do.
I heard that the process of screening CVs has completely got automated today. So much so that till the second level or so, only actual human intervention happens for screening CV. Is that true?
See, ATS can do only some kind of a help, like within the keywords. It can identify the keywords. But when you talk to the candidates, you'll know the reality. So even though ATS we trust or something, only a part of it will be able to trust. It is not that fully we are trusting on ATS. At times, it is better human intervention will happen. Even though if the ATS, I have screened a lot of filters, I've screened a lot of resumes, ATS will suggest, I've spoken with them, but as well as there will be, my intuition would be there. Okay, let me talk with this guy, him or her, how she'll be able to just fit. That intervention is completely there. And success rate is also much more higher when compared to the ATS. See, ATS can reduce the timing, like your keywords plays a major role. Like if you're using any graphical content, your photo, then your profile gets rejected automatically due to that. So ATS would be able to just give the word and accuracy, like a total years of experience you can say and everything. But if you want apart from that, it will save your timing. Like you can use multiple filters and it can save your timing, but still that human intervention is there. That's what I'm trying to say.
For a fresher, who's trying to get a job, who's just about to complete their course, would you advise them to look for a job as a fresher in large corporates or in a smaller startup? Because I think the first 2-3 years of a career should be invested in learning. Where is the scope for learning for a fresh HR graduate hire?
If you are a fresher, listen carefully, try to get into a branded companies. So first thing is what you have to do is, it is not advisable to enter into a startup at your early stage. The reason why, because first thing is, in an established organization, you will be able to see different departments, different functions, and different opportunities where you will learn each and every basics out of it, like a HR. Even I started my career at Fortune 500. I was there working for the 6 years. I came to know each and every department functions only there. Then after that, I came to a startup. Now imagine there are two different kind of people who is entering into a startup. See, most of the people wanted to work in startup. They think that it is very easy to work in a startup. It is not easy at all. Into a startup industry, you have to do everything right from the scratch, including your administration activity. So most of the HRs has been abused, I would say, into that startups or something. And secondly, the benefit part. If you get into a branded ones, your medical insurance, your health insurance, everything is covered. But whereas into a startup, it is a startup still, right? They are at a growing phase. So you will have to compromise all these things. So it is not advisable, especially any of the professions, to start entering into a mediocre or a startup at an early stage of the career. It is better you choose a branded one, then you decide after a point of time, okay, now I'm equipped myself, then you can just enter into a startup. And also it becomes a problem, like once enter into your startup, you are working for 3 years, you will be not able to adapt to the corporate environment at times, because corporate, the way the etiquettes, the way of communication is entirely different when compared to the startups. Of course there is a hierarchy or something, but you have to also learn, be aware of all these things and all. But after 3 years, when you come, your juniors would be much more advanced and they'll be just very low. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm just curious. I know that a lot of different courses or educational graduation courses or post-graduation courses allow you to apply for government job. Does studying from prestigious institutes like yours in the area of HR allow you to apply for government jobs?
Obviously, yes. MSW,
I mean,
yeah,
I've never heard of this.
MSW is like you have two different courses. One is HRM you can choose, and the one is community development you can choose. So, like for counselors, rehabilitation centers, and for working with the non-governmental organization, NGO groups, your women welfare groups, your World Health Organization.
And if the pay is good?
Yeah, the pay is good. Obviously, those are all like a government thing, and you can also just non-government thing. So they'll be basically looking for the social workers. See, social workers are something who will be working with the vulnerable groups. They work with the purpose. Their salary would be low. MBA is entirely different. MBA will be working for the business stream to enhance the business, and they can earn more. But this is something very different. You'll be just directly impacting the society, directly working with the people, directly working with the vulnerable groups. This is different exposure, and that is different exposure. But you have opportunity for all these folks.
During your graduation or undergraduation, how important is internship to build to embark on your career as an HR?
See, in HR internship, what they used to teach is basically the employee filing activities. They used to teach us so how to file an employee, just collecting the documents, and that is only for 2 months. Okay, you'll be not able to learn that much and all. So only thing what you can do is you can just have some Excel skills or something like that. You'll be able to learn only that. So nowadays, in case if you are coming at this present generation, try to explore the tools in case if you get an opportunity. Obviously, they'll not allow you since you are an intern or something. But it is much more better if you can just explore all these tools. What kind of a tools HRMS they are using it, and what is the latest technology, or how someone is being hired. See, always you should ask this question. Okay, if I have to hire someone, where does the requisition is taking place? How does the job requisition is coming in? So who is requesting it, and what is the next level? So as a fresher, you have to think in this way. Instead of just I have to working with this tool, just ask yourself how it is coming. Ask how, when, ask these kind of questions so that it will be answering you and helpful.
Go back to your time of studying. What would you do differently, to get into, to start your career again? What did you miss out on as a student? What opportunities you could have done better?
No, I don't think I missed any opportunity because I was good at my college days. And compared to my school days, I completely changed. I had distinction throughout my undergraduation and post graduation. And I even got selected at campus interviews. And it was even my option either to choose or not to choose. So that is one thing. I don't want to change anything because I enjoy my college days too.
What advice would you give to young aspiring HR professionals?
HR professionals, if you wanted to enter into this industry, take this industry seriously, then you have to work a lot, as I said. Like communication is the major part. And second thing is what kind of impact. You have to be a tech savvy HR. And third thing is self branding. You have to brand yourself. You have to show and tell. That is one of the concept. If you have achieved anything, what is your achievement? If I have 10 profiles out of 10 HR profiles, why I have to choose Arvind? Why Arvind is better than other candidates? Always there is a question rises, right? So that try to just brand, try to just write out much more in LinkedIn as of now, I would say.
Thank you so much, Arvind. It was a very interesting conversation, and I'm bloody sure that it's going to be very useful for a lot of students watching this. Thank you so much for giving us your time and being here.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.